Hello, membership. This is the Local 440 Education Committee. We're back again. Hi, I'm Chad Millspaul,
And I'm Dan Alexander.
and we are coming to you down here at the Union Hall, and we're going to go over some things that are coming up, which is any unused vacation time that you didn't use from last year. You will be paid out according to paragraph 193B. It basically states this. It says payment of unused portion, if any, of an employee's vacation entitlement shall be made as soon as possible, but no later than February 1st of the following year. So that payment will be paid out by February 1st. So be looking for that, just in case you didn't know that.
Chad, have you ever had any leftover vacation time?
Actually, yeah, I do. I have like 16 hours this year. I usually try to use it up as much as I can, but I usually don't have more than 16 hours, except for one time. And I don't want to bring up that one time because there are some people in the plant that'll kind of let you know that you didn't use your time.
Yeah.
I know Arnold Bush used to do that to Zane all the time. So Zane always made sure that he had all his vacation time used. That's why I don't want to bring it up too much because I'll hear it from Zane.
Right. I have always used up my vacation time.
That's a good man because that's what it's there for, right? And I do know that there's times when people can't get off on certain dates that they want, and that's something else that we're going to be talking about during this podcast is about the vacation time off procedure that's actually coming up that everyone needs to be signed up by the February 20th is the date. And then that is basically for your vacation for the rest of the year. And then after that, because we have a new vacation time off procedure, and I'll kind of go over that a little bit.
Now, are we going to be able to use any kind of vacation time after 2024? Like vacation time that we've been allotted for 2024, are we going to be able to use that like in the first week of 2025? Is that something that's new?
So what you're if you're referring to, so in the local language, the vacation time off procedure actually changed. Before, what it was is you signed up for all of 2024. Okay, so any time from basically February or from March on is the time period that you signed up for vacation time off. And then management would come back and tell you where you got it, where you didn't, and then if you didn't get it off. Let's say you try to sign up for another date after the sign-up period. Well, by the old language, they didn't actually have to tell you whether you had it off or not until a month prior to that date, which was, to me, seemed a little hard for anyone to plan a vacation because they had to wait so long to figure out whether they were going to get it off. And the new vacation time off procedure, after the sign-up date, it'll be on a first-come, first-served basis. So basically, if there's two people that sign up for the same date, say in September, and they both turn it in on the same date, it'll be whoever has the highest seniority. Now, also in your vacation time off procedure that was changed from the prior language is all of 2024 you sign up for, plus January and February, which is the question I believe you were asking about.
Yeah.
So you will actually be able to sign up for January and February of 2025 this year, which is something new that was put into the local agreement.
Now, when you do that, when you sign up for January or February, are you using the vacation time that was allotted in 2024, or does that kick in 2025?
It'll kick in 2025.
So you use the new vacation.
Correct. Before, it was basically, you come in and you try to sign up for it. We just kind of thought that this was a better way about going about it. There's some other locals I know that have this language, and that's one thing that was done in the local agreement on the last one. So
I know a lot of times they don't like us using the vacation too early in the year, like that first, second week. So
right. So you have to be eligible.
Right.
You got to get your 1 weekend to be eligible to use your vacation, and then it really depends on when December 31st falls. as far as when your new vacation kicks in and whether you can use your old vacation for that period. But yeah, I think that this is something that's new that probably a lot of people don't know about. Another reason why we wanted to bring this up, that way people know what their options are and how they can go about it, and how language has changed from the prior one. So this would be a good time to get this out, because February 20th is coming up. So we're trying to get this out now so folks have this in the back of their mind. Hey, I got to get this signed up by this date. Then after this, what are my options? And how can I go about it? Well, we don't have to wait until a month prior to the date that you're trying to go out on. They can actually, when you turn it in, they can, supervisor at that time probably just look on the counter and go, yeah, you got it. So it should be a little quicker turnaround on letting folks know when they have their vacation off and when they don't. Have you ever had a problem in the past where you haven't been able to get a vacation day off?
Oh yeah, lots of times.
Is it did it have anything to do with the language, like a month prior to?
A little bit. I've had some problems in the past where, they were like, I was like 3 months or 4 months ahead. I knew I needed a day off, and so I wanted to give them the paperwork early, just to give them a heads up. And they're
Right.
like, we can't really do this early, which kind of threw me off. It was something that they had just sprung on us, and it's like, we're not really supposed to.
Right.
Authorize vacation time this early, and to me that seemed kind of silly because I was giving them plenty of leeway time to find, maybe a replacement, somebody come in early or stay late.
Right.
So,
And then they're like, well, I can't. It's
Yeah.
because of this right here.
Yeah.
Right.
and that's no longer the case.
That's no longer the case. So now, like I said, after that February 20th cutoff date, anything after that will be first come, first serve seniority, whoever has the highest seniority. So, meaning that, let's say, for instance, in September, you got a date that comes up after the sign-up period, and you go, hey, I need to fill that out. So I go ahead and I fill it out on, let's say that's March 20th, okay, and we're just going to use a date. Well, let's say that someone else that has more seniority than you wants that same date off, and it's in May when they come to their supervisor and they fill it out and they turn it in. And, oh, wait a minute, I got more time than Dan. No, that's not how that is. It's first come, first serve, okay? If he'd have done it on the same date that you signed up for, yes, he would have got it then. But since you had turned it in ahead of time,
Right.
like I said, it's first come, first serve.
And this is all after February 20th.
All after February 20th. So, and that's one of the biggest changes that folks need. That there's no longer that waiting time for it.
Right.
And then the other thing is the February or the January and February timeframe that you can sign up for the following year during the vacation sign-up period. That's the other big thing that folks need to know about. And then the unused vacation period or unused vacation that you didn't use the year before, it will be paid out by February 1st.
Right.
So those are things that folks need to look for in this month and next month. Something else that's coming up, we're still waiting on the information, and we'll be doing a podcast on that, is the SAP. So I know as soon as Shannon gets that information, I know she wants to get it out. So for the folks that are wanting to sign up for that, when that information does come out, we will be doing a podcast so that we can send that information out to the masses so that everyone knows exactly what is correct and what is not. Because that's something else that we run into is there's a lot of information that gets put out, but it's not always the correct information that's on like Facebook and social media and things like that. So this is another forum that we're trying to use to get out the correct information for the membership so that they know exactly what's what, not maybe what they've heard on Facebook or someplace else that's not correct. So we're hoping that more people will be in tune to looking at our podcast and things from the elected officials, because those are the ones that know exactly what's what.
Right. We need to get more elected officials on the podcast too.
And we're working on that. And I'm sure that
Don't be shy.
Exactly. The more we start doing these things, I'm sure we'll get more of them on. And something else too, if there's an idea that a member's wanting to have us do or whatever, go to your union meeting. Put that out there. Let them know so that they can contact us, or they can get a hold of me or you or anyone that's on the education committee.
Right.
And we'll try to accommodate that, because that's what we're here for. We're trying to educate our members on, not just local and national agreements, constitutions, and all sorts of, there's a vast array of information that I think that we can educate our membership on. And, kind of the sky's the limit doing this right now.
Yeah.
Something else just comes to mind here, and I just thought about this, but during your vacation time that you fill out, they always talk about having a shutdown week, okay? And they actually have to notify the shop committee in February on whether they intend to work shutdown or not work shutdown.
Right.
So this can have an effect on folks, because a lot of people either they count on not having to work it, okay, and then they have vacation time for it, or they count on, hey, I got to work. But management has to notify you or the shop committee ahead of time their intent on whether they're going to work it or they're not going to work it. So some folks that may think that they're going to have it off, and then in reality they find out they don't, they may want to put in vacation for that week.
Yeah.
Okay, but
And then if you have it locked in, and then if you don't need it, you don't have to use it.
Correct. And that way you don't get hung up and get in a pinch later on.
Right.
Might as well go ahead and put it in for it, and then something changes, you can always take it out. But don't always count that. Hey, they're going to have a shutdown or they're not. Okay. So that's just something else that you might want to keep in the back of your mind when it comes to filling out your vacations.
Okay. Another thing too is I think we need to be kind of careful. I know last year a lot of vacation time got mixed up. It was a bit of kind of a bit of a nightmare, as far as keeping track of everybody's vacation time, and hopefully we can get with management and make sure that doesn't happen again this year.
Right, and always look at your check stubs.
Yeah.
Look at your vacation hours, or you can go to the kiosk and it'll show your vacation time.
No,
things
those
like
are
that.
two different things, though, right? Because they take that vacation time out in Kronos at the beginning of the year before February 20th. But then what you see on your touchpad when you look at
Right.
the screen in the break room could be completely different.
Correct.
So it's always best to go to your Socrates and look there.
Correct. Yeah, so like when you select on your like the kiosk or whatever, if they've already put your vacation time in for the year, it's going to show that you don't have all this time.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you go to like My Socrates and you go on your pay or whatever, you can pull up and it's going to show your exact hours that you have.
Correct.
They just take it out ahead of time, and it's already in the system, so it looks like you don't have it. But you really do, but it's on your pay stub. So another great question, a good topic to bring up so that people kind of understand what the difference is. So very good point there. Very good point. So is there anything else you want to bring up today?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Well, I think we're going to sign off. So at this time, Dan, I want to thank you for being on the show today. It's always nice to get some different folks on here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you volunteered, because sometimes it's a little harder to get people in here to talk. We're just talking. We're just having a conversation, aren't
Oh,
we?
yeah, absolutely.
So
Just bringing up topics that come up on the floor, and we're bringing them here to try to clear them up. And
Absolutely.
maybe we can get clarification, and I think that's what the podcast is for.
well, good deal. Well, I appreciate that. So we're going to sign off. So stay classy, 440, and we'll see you next time.